This is a 3-month greenhouse rooting tube study in which we are looking at the effects of rooting and above ground biomass development of creeping bent grass using GreenActivator, a liquid fertilizer, and urea, and comparing the differences between them. We seeded at the agronomic rate of creeping bent grass into these tubes that are full of PGA sand, and they were given a fertilizer application every 28 days or every month. And every 2 weeks we observed the above ground on the percent green cover, and we monitored their development for the duration of the 3 months trial.
We have the untreated control, so this got no nutritional value added to it. Here is our GreenActivator at 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Again, that's the label rate. GreenActivator at 4 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Then we've got the liquid 827.5 humic containing competitive product. And then finally the nitrogen only check, and that's urea. All of these products here had the same amount of nitrogen applied to them. By far the deepest root system here from this visual observation is obviously the GreenActivator at 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet, performing for the deepest root system here in this experiment. Looking back at these, now that we've kind of established what we have going on here, here is the control. Again, we notice what we'd expect to. Very poor turfgrass color due to a lack of nitrogen here. Very small root system as far as that goes. It doesn't have the depth, it doesn't have the branching compared to some of the other treatments. Then we're looking at GreenActivator at 2 ounces, again applied at 28-day intervals. We can see a more robust above ground biomass compared to the control as well as compared to the urea. We also see pretty good depth here of branching at the surface, and then this is by far our longest treatment as far as the total root depth goes. GreenActivator at 4 ounces per 1,000, so we're double the rate here. We again see more aggressive or robust above ground biomass compared to some of the other treatments. But what we really, just visual observation wise, we don't see it being much greater than at the label rate, so more is probably not better here. We also look down through here, we see that it's not as long of a root system as what the 2 ounce rate was. The competitive standard here, again, the 827.5 liquid fertilizer on 28-day intervals. We again see a very robust, active above ground growth. We see green color in that, so there's obviously nitrogen there. We see good branching all the way down, and a fairly deep root system as far as that goes for total depth. Our final treatment here is urea, and this is what you would expect out of a urea type treatment, right? So it's just supplying nitrogen. So we see dark green color up here in the plant, and it's putting all of its activity towards making sure that the above ground growth is active. So we see a little bit of branching here, but not as well branched as some of the other treatments. And that's pretty common with a urea type fertilizer. Again, it's stretching out down into the soil, trying to find some sort of nutrition there. But obviously it doesn't have as well of a developed root system as those products that contain humic or a more balanced type of a fertilizer, which are the other middle 3 treatments here that are shown.
We're looking at the complete wash roots of the tubes in the greenhouse. So you can visibly see the differences in root biomass that was grown in the 3 months of this experiment. So, first one that we have is the control. The roots are very small and they don't go down very far. The next tube that we have is the GreenActivator at 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet. And you can see this one did by far the best. It has very thick root zone. It goes the entire length of the tube and it is very lush looking, as well as a great visualization about how much more above ground biomass present at this fertilizer regime. Then we have GreenActivator 4 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Similar results to the GreenActivator at 2 ounces, however, it does not look necessarily as thick as it does at 2 ounces per 1,000. So the next one is the liquid 827.5, which is at 12 ounces per 1,000 square feet. This one's a little interesting. We got a nice growth of creeping bent grass above ground, but the roots on this one tend to stay concentrated in the top portion of the root zone. The next one we have is just the urea, which is at 98.7 grams per 1,000 square feet. And we can see that we do have a bit more root growth compared to our control here, but overall the above ground biomass looks very stunted, as well as just a very thin overall root length.
Would be one, that the label is correct at 2 ounces, performed as well as the 4 ounce, so follow the 2 ounce label. Additionally, we saw improvements in turfgrass quality with GreenActivator compared to other treatments. We also saw increases in root volume as well as above ground biomass, and then we also saw it in improvements in rooting surface area as well. When you go out with your fungicide applications on your 28-day intervals, you could apply this as well. That should be a nice fertility option then to incorporate into your tank as well with the 28-day interval, 3 applications, and you should see some improvements in rooting there and some improved stress tolerance.